And working on the pattern for the top, here I have 8 pieces. Each piece is 2 cut on single, so it's 2, 4, 6, and 8. Also, 2 of the pattern pieces are lined with a liner interfacing. It's ironed on. So you have 2 options, either using the iron-on version or the sew-on version. I choose the iron-on. So 4 of the pieces has the iron-on. The other 4 pieces is not. Keep in mind, the ones that you're going to use the iron-on interfacing on has to be the outer layer. So the inner layer is just going to be the material by itself, and the outer layer is going to be interfacing. The reason for the interfacing is just to make the top just fall much better and fluent. So first, what we're going to do is I'm going to pin 1/2 inch seam allowance, because when I cut the top I left 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to pin this down on the 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now this is not where I'll be sewing. I'm just pinning it down on the allowance so it stays in place. I'm actually going to be sewing around the apex area. So I'll put a pin on it so you can see. This is the apex. So I'm going to be sewing from here to here on both pieces. Okay, so I'm going to stitch here and I'm going to stitch here. I'm also going to do the same with the inner liner. I'm going to stitch top all the way down and I'm going to stitch top all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that stitching, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, I've done sewing the apex of the top. Now you're gonna open one of the top that has the interface in, one that doesn't have the interface in, and you're just gonna lay them on top of each other. And there you go. So the 2 equal sides. The outer liner is the interfacing. The inner liner is without the interfacing. So now we're going to move on to putting the straps together so we could continue with the top. Here we have the straps for the top. They're both the same length, I just folded in half. So now this is on the wrong side. What we're going to do is pin on the open edge, stitch all the way down and here. So you're stitching straight and down. You're going to do that on both pieces, then you're going to flip it over to the right side. So once I'm done doing that, I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like, and then we'll go on to continue with the top. This is what the straps looks like after I've stitched them and flipped it over. So it's just 2 closed edges and 2 open edges. So there you go. After we have completed the straps, we are going to join the straps onto the top. So right side facing each other, put the strap in the middle, lay one back over, and that's how you join the straps. So right side facing each other, take one of the straps, place it on the opening, line the top back together, and pin. So one more time, right side facing each other, put the straps in the middle, put the other top onto it, and then we pin it. That will be how you put the straps on. Then we're going to stitch here and we're going to stitch here. That's just to hold the straps into place. After which, you're going to line the tops together, both of them. And keep in mind, there's an inside and there's an outside. So what you're going to do, you're going to stitch all the way up and you're going to stitch all the way up. So first you stitch the straps down, you stitch up and up, up and up. The bottom will remain open so you can flip it over. So now that I'm done pinning it, I'm going to go ahead and stitch the top and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. And here we have the finished top. The strap sewn on, the top interfacing, inner and outer layer joined together and turned over on the right side. This is the side with the interfacing facing up. So this is the process that created the top. So now we're going to move on to the second process, which is joining the bottom half of the top to the bottom. So after this is stitched, you're going to open it, center the middle line, put it onto the bottom of the top. Then you're going to do the same with the other strap. Once this is stitched here, it's joined together, you're going to open it, turn it right side facing up, and you're going to put it to the bottom. Line it up to the middle, and there you go. So this is how you're going to stitch the strap. So you're going to stitch it to the bottom here, all the way to the end of the straps on both sides. So these two is going to be stitched also. And this is going to stitch here. And you could serge it all the way around. So that's how you join the top to the strap. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like, and then we'll move on to the other step. Here we have the finished bra top sewn on to the waistband. I stitched it on both sides and flipped it over. Stitched this one, both sides facing each other, and flipped it over. So I left this open with about a ½ inch off from the ending of where the bra is placed. you're going to turn the bra on the opposite side. And here we have the waist. And this is the bottom half of the bottom part of the top. So you're going to turn it inside. You gathered the skirt. So I put a loose stitch all the way around, gathered it in together, and then I'm going to place it on the band. So you pin the bottom half to the waistband. So now that you've finished pinning the bottom half to the waistband, you're gonna stitch this down. So you stitch it down, join it to the waistband. The other part of the waistband, which is the top, you're just gonna put it over it, fold it over like that, and just pin it down and flat stitch all the way to the other end. So it's gonna look like this. So I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna stitch this down and pin this down and flat stitch it, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, here we have the skirt frill sewn on. As you can see, I flat stitched down. It's here. This is the top, the bra section, 2 straps on the waist, and the straps on the neck. So this is what it looks like when you're completed.